So today I am starting something new. If you didn't know, on Tuesday, I streamed the entirety of a full Call of Duty campaign. And this campaign just so happens to be the origin story of Call of Duty Black Ops. You may not know this, but Black Ops 1 wasn't actually when the Black Ops story started. It was with a previous game, Call of Duty World at War. And that was the game that I streamed this week. And if you want to check out the replay of that, it'll be linked on my second channel, linked down below. The entire campaign is up there in one video. This, however, is something new that I wanted to start on this channel. Whenever I streamed one of these campaigns, making a video breaking down the story of that individual Call of Duty campaign. So if you like this kind of thing, the best way to show me is by hitting that like button. So essentially, I stream the game, I upload the entire game to my second channel, linked down below, and then I break down that game's story on this channel, right here where you are watching. Now, while we're talking about streaming, let me tell you first about today's video sponsor. The most frustrating part of being a content creator is not having enough time. Not having enough time to play the games you want to play, to make the edits and the videos that you put out there. That is why today is sponsored by Eclipse.gg. Eclipse clips your best gaming moments without you having to do anything. Now, the best part about this is you can hook up your YouTube videos or your Twitch streams to Eclipse.gg, and then it'll automatically find your best moments. Whether that be chain kills, quad feeds, victories, or team wipes. But on top of that, using AI, it can actually get your most emotional moments too. Whether that be laughing, screaming, raging, or even crying, it can take all of those moments. But it doesn't end there, because not only is it going to find your best moments, it's going to edit them for you as well. And whether you're doing a 16:9 video like this, or you're posting shorts or TikToks, there's a variety of bunch of templates. You can make presets, and you can immediately take your streams and turn them into a bunch of different clips for TikTok, for YouTube shorts, or anything else. It can put channel name stickers onto the videos for you, or even animated AI captions. Eclipse will save you so much time. So if you're a content creator like me, or you just want to share some of your clips, all you got to do is go down below and check out Eclipse.gg. Let me tell you, it's going to save you a ton of time. And thank you, Eclipse, for sponsoring the video. Now, as far as the World at War story goes, there's essentially two different stories here. The first one, which is kind of its own standalone story, and then the second one, which actually sets up the entirety of the Black Ops universe. So let's start out with the kind of standalone one.
You think because you say nothing, you are strong? 貴様は強くない。強情なやつめ。Don't tell him a fucking thing. 米兵どもはみんなこうなのか。誰とも殺せ。Go to hell.
The Call of Duty World at War campaign is dark. Very dark. That is the opening scene that you just watched there. And specifically, we are looking at the Pacific side of the campaign where you play as Private Miller. You are captured in a POW on Macon, which is kind of the small beach that you are seeing there. However, you are said to be rescued by someone by the name of Roebuck. And by the end of the very first mission, you go in and you are actually able to explode one of the Japanese camps and escape by the hands of Roebuck. This first mission takes place on August 17th, 1942. Now, as far as the Pacific campaign, the next mission doesn't take place until September 15th, 1944, over 2 years later. However, the same soldiers, Private Miller, as well as Corporal Roebuck and Sergeant Sullivan, all storm Peleliu Beach. Now, after they break through the Japanese lines on the beach, Sullivan is fatally stabbed by a Japanese soldier.
What now, Sarge?
Secure the surrounding area. Wait for the Major's orders.
When do we rest?
Soon, Pulaski. Soon.
No! Sullivan, no! Hold on, you're gonna be okay! Corpsman!
Yeah, keep in mind, this is back when Call of Duty campaigns, people would just actually die randomly. So yeah, this was a real thing. Now after this, Roebuck was promoted to sergeant and is now your squad leader. And after the American Marines make their way through a swamp, they end up capturing an airfield and disable anti-aircraft weapons. Now most of the rest of the American campaign is actually just trying to save this beach. The Americans move in, and by the very end, it falls to the Americans' hands. However, later they have another job. Miller's squad needs to move in on Okinawa. Now, as they do this, there's a set of merchant Japanese ships that need to be taken care of, and in an odd mission, you don't play as Miller or the other person that we're going to look at who's one of the main characters in the game. You just get sent in as Petty Officer Locke, and you are on an airplane. Now, I just wanted to just have a quick aside. Lately in Call of Duty games, we have a ton of AC-130 missions, death from above, that kind of thing. This is a great example of an early Call of Duty game doing a way better job of one of these stationary missions where you don't move around, you just fire weapons in a way better way. This mission does not have to do with any of the main characters, it is a complete side mission, but you fire down death from above in an airplane, switching from gun to gun depending on what job needs to be completed. And eventually, some Americans are stranded in the water, and you are sent in to land on the water, destroy enemy ships, all the while rescuing these American Marine soldiers. And it's a great example how it can give you choice in a mission that really doesn't have to do with the overall story. You can either just destroy the Japanese ship and leave soldiers to drown, or you can try to save as many soldiers and protect your people as much as possible, giving you a little bit of choice in a mission that should be very simple. Okay, that point aside. Moving back to Miller's squad, you are doing a full front assault on Okinawa. The goal, storm Shuri Castle. Now, you do so and you end up making your way to the castle, taking it over, and by the very end, you see a bunch of Japanese soldiers who have seemingly surrendered. However, when Roebuck and Private Polanski go to search them, you are addressed with a decision. They have grenades in their hand. They're essentially kamikazes, and you can only save one person, either Roebuck or Polanski.
Sarge, we got movement! Hold your fire. Polanski, search him. On the ground, now! Keep those hands up! Shit! I see him! Miller! Help! Roebuck! Miller! They killed the Sarge!
This was really the first Call of Duty game that had a decision that you could make that affected the ending. Now, really the only different outcome that happened is at the end of that mission, you were either given the dog tags for Roebuck or Polanski, depending on who died. But after this, Shuri Castle is captured, you crush the last bastion of the Japanese resistance on Okinawa, and the American Marines have won. Now, the interesting part about this is, before this, in Call of Duty campaigns, generally the best part was the American campaign. However, this American campaign in World at War was completely overshadowed by two reasons. First of all, the Russian side of this campaign eventually became the story and beginning of the Black Ops series, but on top of that, we had Gary Oldman.
I need your help.
I just want to say this mission is a masterpiece, and Gary Oldman is so good as Viktor Reznov. This is the introduction to Reznov, and this is where the origins of the Black Ops universe actually starts. In Stalingrad, there is a massacre, and two of the people left alive are Dmitry Petrenko and Viktor Reznov. Now, at this time, Viktor Reznov's finger has been cut off, so he is unable to fire a weapon. So he hands you a sniper rifle and walks you through a mission to get through Stalingrad and kill one of the German generals. So you do this, and you take out the German general, and eventually you end up escaping alongside Viktor Reznov, jumping out a window into some water, and all we see is Viktor Reznov's hat floating in said water. Now, where things get weird is we don't know anything until 3 years later in a battle called the Battle of Silo Heights. We wake up as Dmitry Petrenko, and once again, the savior Reznov comes to our rescue.
Was gefunden?
Nur billigen Plunder, der sie wohl an ihre Heimat erinnern sollte. Nein!
Russisches Schwein, du hättest lieber tot bleiben sollen!
Was ist das?
Dmitri!
Finish those rats!
Once again, you cheat death. Our tanks are ready to smash this line, and Chernov! I am not hearing gunshots.
There is no point, Sergeant. They are already bleeding to death.
Then maybe our friend will help them bleed faster.
Now for the next few missions, as you fight alongside the Russians, you fight through the Battle of Silo Heights, getting on a tank, doing military things, and eventually you win the battle, getting on a train to Berlin in an outskirts city, eventually entering the Berlin U-Bahn station. As you fight through and the Germans flood through the area, not only the Germans flood in there, but a whole bunch of water as well.
You will be okay. Do you hear me? They flooded their own metro in an effort to kill us, Dmitri. But once again, they failed. Once more, we cheat death. You will be okay. Relax for a few minutes. Breathe deeply.
So once again, Viktor Reznov saves you out of the U-Bahn station, pulls you out of the water, and you are now that much closer to storming the Reich. And that is exactly what we do in the next mission, pushing towards the Reich and eventually breaking our way inside and working our way to the roof. Now at this point, our job is one thing and one thing alone, taking over the Reich, and to do so and show so, we have to plant the flag atop it. And as we go to, once again, we need to be saved just one more time.
You can make it, my friend. You always survive. The honor should be yours. As long as you live, the heart of this army can never be broken. Things will change, my friend. As heroes, we will return to Russia's embrace.
And just like that, we have taken over Germany, won the war in the Pacific, and World War II has come to an end. But as I mentioned, this is just the beginning for the Black Ops story, because it actually establishes the first two characters within the Black Ops universe, and that is Dmitry Petrenko and Viktor Reznov. Two characters who would become hugely, hugely important in the exact same year, in the year 1945, on the mission Project Nova. And yes, this happens right after World War II, but is not a part of Call of Duty World at War. So we're not going to touch on that one today. We'll save that one for next week when we dive into Black Ops 1. So if you like this story summary, you like this type of videos, show me by hitting that like button, subscribe, turn notifications on, all of that kind of jazz. I really do appreciate it. And we will keep doing this for the rest of the year, as long as you guys continue to support these kind of videos. But I'm curious, what do you think of World at War? What do you think of the story? What do you think of the campaign? Let me know down in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, peace.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're